Good morning. Tamir is here bringing you quality content, mindset, and disciplines to learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them. It is Black Friday week, and we've got sales coming. People buying things, or American shops or deals all over. Everything from gifts for the holidays to turkeys to household items to cars and maybe stocks as well. What deals do we have for Black Friday stock week? Well, let's check it out. Happy Turkey Day. I'm personally not trading this Friday, segregating it for the family. Sometimes you got to just take some time off. So this video is a plan, my stock of the month as well. Now let's get into it. Following a very volatile week prior, where major indexes like the Dow Jones Industrial Average were down 1.3%, the S&P 1.2%, and the NASDAQ 1.8%, roughly. It ended amid AI valuation concerns, recent governments shut down, having big data disruptions. We don't have all the data yet, which we're waiting on. And expectations are going to lead towards continued choppiness until we get some of that stuff worked out. Investor sentiment has improved slightly on renewed optimism for U.S. economic growth and potential Federal Reserve rate cuts. But high valuations in big tech, especially the AI mega caps, and uncertainty around delayed economic reports could cap the upside. So we saw NVIDIA pop up and then pop back down. And now we're going to talk about that as well. But small cap stocks remain, in my opinion, very attractive, trading at a roughly 16% discount. Not exactly a Black Friday discount, but nice for the market for fair value estimates and potentially drawing rotation from the overvalued large cap sector. Has the hot air come out of the AI sector with NVIDIA's super strong earnings providing a brief rally that quickly faded? Alphabet is up for the week. Now price in a higher likelihood of a third rate cut this year, which would be very good for the markets. And we have key economic indicators and earnings coming in this week. Let's get into it. With the government shutdown resolved, some delays on news from September and October data may still be trickling in, which could signal holiday trends. Retail groups like Best Buy and other companies that are going to rack up the crazy sales this year, or will they? No major Fed events until December 9th, 10th meeting. But what do we have on the calendar? I'm going to look over my chart here because I can't memorize this whole calendar. It's going to be a very short day. 8:30 is going to be personal income and spending for October. Consumer spending, that's the inflation gauge via the PCE data. And it's an early close on Friday at 1 o'clock. So there's going to be light volume and potentially high volatility. I do not plan on trading Friday. Overall, I'm looking for a bounce on NVIDIA. Why am I bullish on NVIDIA? Well, not exactly bullish, but I'm looking for a bounce. Its high was around 207 in the last month, and its low going down to about 172.93, if I'm reading this right. And it bounced off of that level. It's sitting at around 180 after it bounced Friday. So I'm thinking it's got more upside than downside. We're going to have to see how the market reacts. But NVIDIA has been slowly going down, making lower highs until it bounced off of what I felt to be the lowest level for now. But we don't know. We got to see what the full market's going to do. We got to see what the SPY is going to do. It makes up a massive part of the SPY. But I am going to look for a morning trade on Monday. But I'm looking to make some scalp income on NVIDIA or possibly pick some leaps up long-term at these levels. Other potential Black Friday picks are the retailers. I like Amazon a lot, cited as a perennial top contender due to its e-commerce. And pretty much everybody buys everything on Amazon to your door. They have a large global scale. They're lagging right now, and I think we could see a big pop from them. We could see 25% upside over the next month or so. We got Walmart, which is a massive leader, strong physical and online presence. They're going to come out of the gate strong, I believe, if we get a lot of retail purchases, as well as Shopify, PayPal, and possibly Target. So I'm looking at all these names for bumps and a few other names because I think that right now going into Black Friday, all the companies that generally have a lot of purchases, we should be watching the ones that took a nice scale back and held certain key support levels. We should be watching for a pump. But that is not my stock of the month or my pick. My stock of the month is the one and only Tesla. Tesla's my stock pick for the month. Took a big nosedive recently, recovered from it. We had a nice bounce on Thursday. We thought it was going to do very well. Went up as high as, I think it was 428, and then it started teetering down. The SPY fell, it fell, and the whole market fell. But Tesla went down pretty far, and it hit a key support level again in the low 390s and bounced off of it in the aftermarket a little bit, but nothing crazy. But I believe Tesla is going up. Why do I believe it's going up, and why is it my stock pick for the month of December? So the bottom line, if Tesla closes out above that 415 level and it shakes off broader market weakness fueled by FSD breakthroughs and regulatory wins and sold out factories with robo-taxi fleets hitting the road, unsupervised autonomy, and the Optimus humanoid robot, which I'm going to buy one myself, all converging in the next 6 to 18 months, the stage is set for Tesla. That might be one of the biggest wealth transfers and rewritings since NVIDIA's AI run. I truly stand behind that. When NVIDIA was at $92, $93, I was telling people, my friends, this is a great time to buy. If you don't know what to buy, just buy NVIDIA. And they're like, well, it's not going to double. How's it going to double? It's such a big company. And it doubled. So you can't look at the size of something. You can't look at everything. You got to look at what they're doing, what is going on, who is using the technology, and is it getting rolled out? And with Tesla, I believe it is. I believe all they have are blue skies right now on the horizon. They're working through some kinks, but it's not enough to hold the stock down, in my opinion. We'll see. Let's see what the market does coming up in the next week or so. I told you my levels of support. The Tesla story, just shifted from electric cars to full-on artificial intelligence dominance. And the market's starting to price it in. Musk is making bold claims about us not needing physical labor, and these robots are amazing. When you teach someone, human, how to do something, it's not necessarily that the next human's going to be able to do it the same way. Sometimes I hired a lot of people in my time, and sometimes you get a better employee, a worse employee. It takes time to train. But with a robot, once it's trained, all of that goes right into the next robot brain, and they do things the same way. So you could scale at a guaranteed pace, and that's going to revolutionize the labor market and also change things, unfortunately. Might be a little bit of different job shifts, or it might be a lot of people may be out of work due to what robots can take over. So a lot's going to change going forward as robots hit the market. Another thing to make mention why I'm so bullish on Tesla is they have competition in robots, and they have competition in FSD and self-driving, but nobody does it like Tesla. Nobody has gone as far as they have. So they are the leader of the pack. Similar to me, like NVIDIA in its corresponding fields, I look at Tesla in its field. And at the head of its company, you got this amazing genius doing unbelievable things that no one thought he would do. Besides that, there'll be more stuff down the road. There'll be more innovations. They send rockets on behalf of NASA. Musk does some unbelievable things that no one thought, like the claw that catches the rocket when it comes back. Like, who thought that was ever going to happen? And he did it. And he had a few minor setbacks, but he's really moving strong. So my pick of the month right now for December is Tesla. Dollar cost averaging buying the stock, and I'm going to be looking for options positions at the 415 level and at the 428 level when it holds support. That in the past. So I've mentioned names in the past like Meta, Oracle, and SoFi. I called out Oracle in October. It had an amazing run, but now it's back to a very, very low level. So I'm going to look to see for a recovery and a bounce. It didn't perform that well after that quick run up. And then we had SoFi, which I called out for the month of November, did very, very well. And then again, fell back all the way to a key level around 25. The whole market pulled back. Nothing to be surprised about when your favorite names start to pull back. You have to reassess and take a look at the charts and make sure they're holding. It seems to be holding at that 25 level, but I'm going to look to see what happens on December 5th, if it gets included in the S&P 500, or if that is going to be kicked further down the road. And also a top pick, and it's a big pick for me usually during retail season. I called it out in October. That was my pick. Oracle was September, Amazon was October of the month, and SoFi was November, and now Tesla's December. Amazon went and ran all the way up to around 250 and now pulled back to a key level of support where it was before the run up around 221. I expect it to push back up and meet higher highs, but it's not going to do it alone. It needs the market to move the momentum with it. I think the catalyst of Black Friday could be a very good indicator for it. Definitely a stock I'm going to be watching closely, as well as some other names that took huge pullbacks like Meta and Oracle. So those are the names I'm looking at right now. I took a position in shorting the VIX on Thursday. The VIX was at 27. I wanted to do this last time the VIX hit 27, which signals tremendous volatility. and I thought that it wasn't going to continue to be those big of swings. So I took a position shorting the VIX. One of them is expiring this week and one of them is expiring next week. So we'll see how that goes. Is the VIX? The VIX measures volatility. It measures the percentage that something's going to move in a time period. And it moved very fast, right? We saw the SPY come down hard, very fast, giving you a very high VIX. And then it recovered and the VIX started scaling back. On Thursday, when I saw it was at 27, I thought it was a good time to short because I don't believe we're going to get too much continued volatility. I think the market is very volatile. But the swings, I think, are going to get smaller and smaller as we start to stabilize and correct. So that's a position that I took. I don't necessarily recommend everybody taking that position, but I saw it hitting the same key level, and I'm sharing with you my trade. Sometimes when the VIX is really high, it's time to buy. So 27 was a pretty good number, and I'm sure there were some discounted names such as NVIDIA and Tesla at those levels, but we're going to see. Again, I told you the numbers we're looking for. I told you the key support levels that I'm looking for. I explained to you the trades I have and what's on the horizon. Always learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them. Happy trading, everybody, and keep those emotions cool.
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues.